What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Chris Strong Art. Welcome back to the show. Thank you everybody for tuning in. First of all, before we even get started off, why don't you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go ahead and push this thing up to 1,000. Thank you for the newcomers. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for everybody that's been supporting. So today's topic, this is gonna be a response to I'm sure y'all are familiar with Edward Anderson, and one of the talks going around the sphere right now is, is it better to not get married at all, or is it better to get married and be divorced, right? What's the consequences? What's the pros and the cons, basically? Like, what can you gain from a marriage? Is it worth it? A lot of the questions that get asked around, these spaces and brothers who are trying to figure everything out, right? So I have the article pulled up right here. This is a TMZ article involving Dr. Dre and his recent divorce from his wife. And right now, it says that Dre is having to pay $100 million to Nicole in divorce settlement. Now, I'm going to use this as a catalyst to kind of answer this question. All right. Because I've heard different opinions. Big shout out to lead attorney, because he actually dropped some fire knowledge. Him being a divorce attorney in this field, is very eye-opening about what he said. Because I have my opinion about it, but I want you guys to hear the facts. Okay, so to really kind of dive into this and answer this question, I'm gonna get into the example that lead attorney presented, and I'm gonna give my opinion on it, because he dropped some fire knowledge. Okay, so the example that he gives is he's laying out basically what you'll be having to pay in a divorce, right? So he said, let's just say if we took a guy who's just making 300,000, that's his net worth, and then when you get the divorce, you divide that in half, that's 150,000, and then you're paying, now this is no prenup, by the way, so this is without prenup, regular separation, attorney fees 25K, alimony you keep paying somewhere in the neighborhood of 1K a month for 48 months, so that's gonna be 48K, and by the end of that you have 77K, $77,000, all right, for your divorce. She is gonna end up by the time everything's said and done, because you had to pay her attorney fees and stuff like that and alimony, she's gonna be in the neighborhood of somewhere of or she'll start out with her 150, and then she'll get her 48K, which is the alimony. That'll bring her up, just off that alone will bring her up to 198K, just off that. Okay, that alone I figured would drive some guys away. Because the real thing we're gonna get into, man, is like, is it worth it? Because these numbers are not even that outrageous, I guess you could say. Like, these are kind of like average guy numbers, but just imagine on a larger scale. So with a 50-50 prenup, okay, we'll go over the same scenario. 300K, you get broken down to say you have 150K. 50-50 prenup, and it's just a 50-50, like he said, like lead attorney said, you don't have to do a 50-50 prenup. You can make the prenup to where you get everything, you can set it completely up to where it's in your favor, right? And then you start out with the 300, you go down to 150. She has the 150, but then in this case with the prenup, she's wound up paying her attorney fees. That's 25K, and that brings her down to about 125K. So the way he sets this up is lead attorney Angle was saying that with a prenup, it's gonna be much better. It's gonna save you, basically. The example and reason I bring up Dr. Dre is because the lead attorney's example of what Dr. Dre is dealing with is because you see the 100 mil to his wife and people flipping out like, oh man, he's losing, she got him. But when you actually go over the numbers, Dr. Dre's net worth would be 800 mil. She would have gotten 400 mil. She got 100 mil. because the prenup saved him $300 million. Now then, that does drive, you know, a hard bargain to say that, you know, prenups don't help. Of course prenups help, of course. And you know, he made a comment, he said she got, you know, oh, she got screwed over, you know what I mean? Basically she got screwed over. He said look at what she got in the end, and at the end of it she kept she got cars, she got depreciating assets, basically, or depreciating, you know, assets are depreciation. Now she got cars, jewelry, you know, some things that were already belong to her and stuff like that is what she got in the end. Okay, and if we look at it, Dr. Dre definitely came out ahead, but then lead attorney's opinion was, well, she got screwed over. I know he was just, you know, he was being dramatic. She didn't get screwed over because in that context, what did she earn? You know what I mean? She got what she deserved. She didn't earn no more of his money. She was not in the studio with Dr. Dre. All right, she didn't. Nah, she got, that's enough. She didn't earn nothing. So hey, she got what she got. All right, but what I want to do is I want to drive this in a different direction a little bit, because if you look at this, the prenup saved him. Okay, but how? Imagine a different scenario where you have your 300K, and then let's say imagine a reality where you went from 300K to 500K or even 6. How could that happen? What would lead you to get from 300 to 500 off the numbers in potential, possibly? Could you imagine not getting married at all? Based off these numbers and based off the example that even a divorce attorney is giving you, I say it's not worth it. It's not worth it, because most men talk about the legacy, and I said this before in my videos, like, you know, most guys look at marriage, oh, I want to pass down my legacy. And to be completely honest, you're not going to really, based off the statistics and the numbers of today, you're not really gonna wind up raising them kids anyway, bruh. You're not gonna wind up raising those kids anyway. It's unfortunate, but it is true. Because if you look at the cost and everything I just laid out, guess what I didn't mention? Child support. We didn't even mention about the toll that the child support is gonna even have in this whole equation throughout this whole thing. So yeah, you can say Dr. Dre quote unquote won, kinda, because if you think about it, he still had to go through the traumatic experience of dealing with a situation where he was dealing with somebody that he thought it was going to be forever. He had to go through a divorce, he had to lawyer up, and then he had to be in a situation where his prenup technically saved him. I mean, to even go through that, is it worth it? I would say honestly, in today's society, unless the laws change, I'm gonna have to say no. Something within the whole family court situation would have to change. It would have to be a great change in this context. Either custody is gonna have to make some type of changes throughout all the court systems in the states, or they're gonna have to figure out some new laws to go by. Because I would say right now, if you're a young dude coming up, you have to get out of that mindset that you're winning if you're married as a man. Because society says that, oh, my contribution to life is I have to go out here and, you know, prove myself by getting married. I have to prove myself to women. Let me tell you something. Marriage benefits her. Just so you know. It benefits her. It really does. I mean, you can try to angle it any way you want, but honestly, when you get down to the root of it, marriage benefits her. Okay? Because now she's covered. You're doing her a service. As a man, you can your potential to continue to make and do what you need to, travel, make money. And even lead attorney slipped up and said, yes, brothers, get your passports. I heard him say that. I caught you, lead, I caught you. He said it. I mean, honestly, for me, he just made a stronger case for SYSBM. Because when you even look at the paperwork, you look at the fine print, I'd say that to answer the question, is it worth it? I'd say not now. I say that to young men, you should be focused on your purpose, because you got to kill this idea that there's this one, you know, all that twin flame bullshit, and get out of here. All right, brothers need to learn that they have options. Brothers need to understand that there's not just this one person that you're supposed to be tied to for the rest of your life. Okay, I mean, I know a lot of people will kind of have a religious perspective on that and stuff like that. Like, man, that old programming is not valid nowadays, man. That's not even what the case is. I talk to younger bros who ask me questions, and I tell them, like, man, like, you got to understand, like, it is a different ball game out here going on. Okay, it is literally in her favor for you to marry her and see her fit to be a wife. You got to get better with your options, brother. You got to get a better understanding of your value, and you need to pick better instead of this one-itis, because some men feel like it's their whole purpose to just go out here and they have to be married and stuff like that. Let me tell you something, man. Like, you feel like you're not on a clock like that, like you think you are. You know what I mean? Like, you're really not in that context. You don't really hit your highest earning potential until you get about 45. Things like that. I mean, it's gonna take a while for you to get up there. Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of things that they told you growing up. It was a lie. It was a lie.
So that was a fucking lie.
It was a fucking lie. It really was. And now I feel like men within the space are trying to let young brothers know, like, hey, man, nah, G, no. Don't hold yourself to this standard of feeling like you have to measure up to a it's almost like a unhittable mark, man. Because if you want to make it about money and, oh, if I have enough money, she'll respect me and all this other stuff. No, survey says no. Because if we look at celebrities, it almost seems like every other week we're dealing with somebody's getting divorced, bad relationship this, she's going after his money, he wants to see his kids. I said it in one of my last videos, man. The average years for marriage is like, what, 8? I think it was like 8.2 when I looked it up. What was it, like 8.2? When you Google it, look it up. Do the research for yourself, man. Get out here and understand that you have options, brother. All right, you have options. And to be stuck on this idea that, oh man, I can't contribute to society if I'm not out here, you know, wifing up baby mamas and all that nonsense. Like, you're doing a better service to society by teaching them that they don't qualify to be married. You're doing a better service right there. All right, shout out to you brothers who are bold enough to tell women no. Shout out to you brothers. The hand clap for the brothers who understand how to use the word no. I said no. Nah, man, brothers not dealing with that, man. I'm telling you right now, in society, bruh, it's a lost cause, man. Teen marriage is not looking good for y'all, I keep telling you. I mean, if you want to talk about marrying overseas, I know some brothers have brought that up. I guess you, maybe. It depends. Like I said, the laws would matter at that point. I've heard that things are different in different countries. I've heard you can go to different countries and possibly fare better than you could in the States. But I don't know, man. It could still be a sticky situation. I would say if you're a young dude, especially in your 20s, man, I wouldn't even be focused on marriage right now. I say that's the last thing you should be focused on. Get your money up, get your bread up, stay focused, man. Stay on your grind. Don't waste your time with this, you know what I mean, sticking to some narrative of a community that doesn't even support you, right? You know, or doesn't really hold you in high regard. Get out here and vote with your feet, man. Realistically, vote with your feet, bro. You know what I mean? Do what it is that you got to do to be successful. And if you stop making your level of success how many women you can get with, you know what I mean, the type of women you can get with, like, you know, how good she looks, and, you know what I mean, I spit the game to her and I got her and all this other, like I said, you know, I dip honey in her ear, you know. Come on, bro. I think we're the only community that really rates ourselves on how well and how much we can smooth talk ladies. Like, there's so much more to your success than, you know, whispering sweet nothing to females who ain't even fucking worth it half the time, to be honest. You know what I mean? Now, if you find a lady who's copacetic, who's on your team and stuff like that, and she's willing to ride with you and she meets all your criteria, it's great. But still, at the same time, when it comes down to being married, I mean, you have to really think long and hard about where you are in life. Is it worth it? Because you got to understand the laws. And I would say, if you really, really want to get into it, I guess you could go for the prenup option. But I would say even this, if you're going to go for the prenup and she don't want to sign it, you got to be strong enough to say, well, I guess we can't get married. I know a lot of y'all want to have kids, but at the same time, nowadays, to say that I want to have kids, or to put so much on children, you understand that when you have children, it's best to go ahead and get married. So you should be getting married first. But to go into this whole family thing, you understand that right now it's just not looking good for society. I understand that a lot of brothers want to have children and they want to live their whole dream. But I'm gonna have to say it's let's just say the whole marriage lifestyle and stuff is not what you think it is. Hashtag you're not winning.
How dare you?
Yes, how dare I tell you the truth of getting married is not technically winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to, I've heard that marker, like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like, my level of success is I want to get married one day and have kids. Like, yeah, I get it, but what are you producing? You know what I mean? What are you building on? What are you working on? And is she willing to come in and be a part of what you got going on, instead of feeling like y'all need to be these 50-50 equals, or you need to measure up to where her level of success is, right? That, you know, she's gonna sit around and tell you how to be a better version of you, and that's not what she should be doing at all. And I know a lot of brothers settle for that. I understand. I did at one point. I've been through my ups and downs. That's why I speak so clearly on it. You know what I mean? I tell young brothers, like I said, at my age and my experience and the things that I can relay back to guys who, you know, listen to what I have to say, and brothers that I've helped along the way. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in my young 30s, of course, but, you know, still I've experienced things where I've been out there dating, been married, got divorced, and then had to rebound, recuperate, and then get back out into the world. A lot of brothers my age haven't done that. So being able to drop some knowledge when it's necessary, and those who want to hear it, hey man, I'm gonna have to keep it a buck and just be like, hey, in my personal opinion, I feel like you really could do without. You really could do without. I know that the hard part is having kids, or as far as when the kids get involved, you want to have kids. I know, but that's going to be a bold decision you're going to have to make, because can you afford children? So I would say, generally, the idea that you're going to have this family, it's not going to last long. Yeah, it might be good for the moment. You might get to enjoy X amount of years with that child. But statistically, and all I can give you is the numbers, my personal experience, statistically, you're not going to be raising that child in a 2-parent household until they turn 18 and go to college, whatever the case may be. Statistically, it's not going to happen. So to other brothers, I say the decision is yours. Me personally, I would say just focus on you. Get your bread up, get your money right, and don't hold on to that dream that you're gonna have this perfect marriage. If you want to take the risk, you go ahead and you do it. But man, it's a tough one out here, guys. But in the context of how Dre made out, he made out good. He made out good. He had a prenup. He was able to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? He kept all his stocks in Apple. He kept what he kept. It's all right here in the article. Let me see. Didn't get half. There's a prenup which she contested. Exactly. See, so she fought the prenup. Right here in the article. Just to go, okay, Dre and Nicole just filed their property settlement agreement, which Dre agreed to pay $100 million, 50 mil now, 50 mil a year from now. Dre's estimated net worth is $820 million. Yeah. As for why Nicole didn't get half, there's a prenup which she contested. The article says it right here. It says in exchange, Dre gets to keep 7 of the properties they own, including a Malibu home, 2 homes in Calabasas, and 4 properties in the LA area, including $100 million Brentwood estate. In addition, Dre gets full rights to his masters, trademarks, and interests in various partnerships and trusts. He also keeps all his Apple stocks, all their Apple stocks, which includes the proceeds from the sale of Beats by Dre. Let me tell you what, Dre did the right thing, but he's Dre. He's Dre. He said, yeah, if you're gonna get into the marriage, I'll tell you this, if you're gonna get into it, at least get you a prenup. But to even go through that, oh man. I mean, hey, I say prenup is the answer if you're serious about it. But other than that, I wouldn't even be focused on it if you're at your young age, man. I would not even be focused on it at a young age. I wouldn't make it a goal or priority at such a young age. I really wouldn't. That's how I feel about it. That's my personal opinion, guys. But hey, let me know how you feel about the topic down in the comments section. All right. Hey, hope you guys like new music. I've been doing a few things a little bit with the channel. I've been tinkering with some things here and there. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I've been kind of, touching up things and working on my YouTube skills a little bit. The channel's slowly starting to grow. Like I said, thanks for your support, guys. You guys have really been coming in clutch. Thank you to the people who've been supporting me, other YouTubers who've been shouting me out. You know what I mean? Like I said, on this channel, I give the analytical breakdown of society. You know what I mean? Because that's what we're dealing with right now, man. Things are looking pretty grim as far as the dating market goes. The dating and mating market right now is looking chaotic. I mean, I say that if you're a young brother out here trying to do what you need to do and you really want to see your best opportunities, I'm gonna tell you, get your bread while you're here at home in the States, and man, stretch your legs and travel. You see what's out there. I'm always preaching SYSBM. You already know that's how I'm rocking, that's how I'm coming. SYSBM till I die, bro. Like, it's no game out here, bro. Like, it's serious. Like, at least know your options. I'm not saying you have to end up with a girl from another country, but at least understand your options, bro. At least get out there, stretch your feet in a few countries, and if you feel like there's no place like home, tap your heels twice and come back then, bro. Come on back then if that's just how you feeling. All right. But like I said, guys, appreciate everybody who's supporting. Check me out. I got more upcoming content on the way. I got a few interesting things I want to get into, a couple things I'm going to present to you guys and see how you like it. You know what I mean? Got some things coming up on the way. But anyway, like I said, post your comments down below, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how you feel about the topics or the topics that you may want me to cover. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I thank you for joining, and I'm out. Peace.